Thank you, Atul, for giving this brief. As we shared that throughout the day, we will be having the first part, which is all about Bazaar. But just to share, like, about ideas. All this is all about ideas. Each one of us sitting in this room is a result of an idea. The electricity, the AC, the table, the chair, everything, whatever is around us. Even the petrol which we used in our cars. Petrol was a useless commodity before it was identified that one can use it as a fuel, and it became one of the most essential commodity. So it's all about ideas, and it's all about thinking big and making that idea work. So I think throughout the day, we will be coming across lots of ideas. Just make a note of all those things so that we can implement and use them in our business. We have the most interesting part of the day, which is the CEO conclave and the role of mutual funds in India. These are the people who are actually the movers and the shakers of the industries. They are the most responsible people making the whole team and each and everything move. So I'll request Ramesh to please just introduce them, and I'll request all of them to come one by one on the stage.
Mr. Milind Bave is a managing director of HDFC Asset Management Company. He's a chartered accountant, and he's having a 29-year experience with HDFC Group, and he's in several boards, including Amphi. He's the chairman of Amphi. He's in Skoda also. We love to have Skoda card, but he's in Skoda team, where it's a board of Amphi. It's a SEBI Committee of Disclosures and Accounting Standards, that's Skoda. And he is in TAC also, Technical Advisory Committee of Reserve Bank of India. Next, Mr. Nimesh Shah. Mr. Nimesh Shah is a joint managing director of ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. He's joined as ICICI Prudential Managing Director in 2007 July, and he's a chartered accountant by himself. He was senior general manager in ICICI Bank and has 20 years experience in banking. And Mr. Sandesh Kirkire, he is CEO of Kotak Mutual Fund. He's a mechanical engineer basically, and he's having a 22 experience, and I welcome you all gentlemen to the dais. I welcome Mr. Harsha Subramaniam also on the dais, who is going to moderate this panel from Bloomberg.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having Bloomberg as part of this event. Thank you to Next Advisors for having us associated with this event. It's an honor indeed. Thank you all gentlemen for joining us on this panel. Before I start, I'm going to request all of you to please switch off your mobile phones. We're recording this panel discussion for broadcast on television. Request all of you to please switch off your phones. Check 1, 2, 3. Sandesh, can you just do a test, please?
Check 1, 2, 3.
Check 1, 2, 3. Yeah, everybody can hear me.
Thanks for joining us on this special panel discussion. We're discussing the role of mutual funds in India's growth opportunity. And we've got a power-packed panel today. Joining me is Milind Bave, CEO of HDFC AMC. Also with us, Nimesh Shah, CEO of ICICI Pru AMC. Also with us is Sandesh Kirkire, CEO of Kotak AMC. Gentlemen, many thanks for joining us on this panel discussion. Milind, I'll start with you. And my first question to you, and I want to kick off with your assessment of this growth opportunity. When we talk about this growth opportunity, the mutual fund industry is coming off what was an extremely tough year. And whatever we've seen so far this year has been relatively good. How do you evaluate what's happened so far, and what do you think is the potential going ahead?
I think I'll start with the potential. And I think you've just seen a number of presentations which talk about how ownership or penetration of fund products is low. And I think what's more remarkable is that if you have an economy which saves 32% and household savings 22%, financial asset savings about 12%, and if you just do the maths on a simple nominal GDP growth of somewhere between 13 to 15%, and you do the maths on what this savings rate will convert to, and you put that against the fact how much is currently owned by domestic savers, and I think that gives you the answer to the kind of potential you have. But this is not just about maths, it's also about how we go out and tap those opportunities and how soon it will take, or how long it will take for us to get a meaningful share of the saver's wallet. And I think when you do that thinking, you have to be extremely mindful of the fact that India is a country where literacy levels are low and financial product literacy is even lower. And therefore, I think, yes, the opportunity is there. We need to be patient. We need, as we go to these markets and talk to people who have not heard about fund products, you have to be very careful and circumspect about what we are saying to them. We have to start with very simple to understand and easy to invest products before telling them complex ideas. And most of the time, I think the industry or the distributors lose the customer the moment you talk complex things to him. So I think I have never doubted the opportunity or the potential of this industry. I think that's why I'm here. But having said that, one needs to, when you look back in the last few years, and particularly with equity as an asset class, people seem to go down straight to a conclusion that the single-digit returns are not good enough, and they'll start looking for the other asset classes. And I think we get judgmental about an asset class by our own very definition of what long-term is.
Sure.
Probably prompted by capital gain, long-term being 1 year. So I think the opportunity is just unthinkable. I think the challenge is not to worry about the opportunity and the numbers. It's about how we take sort of conscious steps to increase penetration and make the product simply known to people. And I think the real challenge starts from simply getting a reasonable understanding or awareness that there is this thing like mutual fund products, and they are not complicated. And I think that's the big thing that we need to really sort of evaluate ourselves on.
Fair points, both on awareness and penetration. Ramesh, come in on this. As I said, the last few years have seen humongous changes as far as the regulatory environment is concerned, and the structure of this industry has changed quite a bit. Has the worst of those problems, is it behind you? Has the industry turned the corner? Do you think going forward, it is going to be a growth era?
Actually, I'm quite positive with whatever has happened in the last 4-5 years.
Sure.
I joined this industry around 6 years back, but at that time there was huge NFOs coming in the market. People used to believe that 10, and Milind was referring to financial literacy, a 10 rupee product was supposed to be better than a 180 rupee product. That was the phase in which it were. And people were coming with NFOs where there was no track record, nothing, and people used to subscribe to that. What has happened in the last 4-5 years, especially in the equity side, or overall the industry is a very sanitized industry, according to me. From the industry point of view, from the shareholder point of view, it's a very sanitized industry that we are working on. But especially from the customer point of view, whatever SEBI has done, we have got a very beautiful final product for the customer. It's the most transparent product that is possible. So what last 5 years ensured that it is a very transparent product. It is a relatively cheaper product for the final customer. So whatever we are doing, when I go at the end of the day home, I'm very happy that whatever work I'm doing is good for the customers that are investing in my product. Hand on heart, one can say that 100% of the way we have been regulated, I'm extremely comfortable being in this industry. I think this industry is doing a great job for the country overall in trying to build up the capital this one. Last 5 years, people have got some negative views on that, but that was a part of the change process. And I think the change process has just started. And we have got, whenever the phase of growth comes back again, right. I don't know whether, and it is not to do anything with the mutual fund industry. According to me, mutual fund industry has done a fantastic job of having a sanitized product.
Sure.
It is more about the way where we are as a country, our macroeconomics. Once that is in place, then equity markets will be in place, and then the mutual fund industry will be grow. But in this bad phase, we have created a super product. So I am very, very confident of what we have done as an industry in the last 4-5 years.
Sure. So it's about the macro economy, the product is there, awareness level needs to grow. Sandesh, your thoughts?
No, I think we are ultimately slaves to the underlying. And the underlying is good, you will see greater flows. And in terms of opportunities, what Milind, just to add, I mean, just look at the kind of potential when you just look at assets with the banks, assets with the postal bank, and compare the assets of the industry. I mean, you know that US actually has higher number of mutual fund assets than banking assets. While in the US, mutual funds are part of the payment mechanism, which we don't have, and that's one of the biggest reasons why you had a massive growth in mutual fund assets in the US, along with the 401ks which they had. I think we just need to look at that opportunity, and I believe that with the kind of product that we have, which is one of the perhaps most transparent, one of the most cheapest product on the market, the rising financial literacy, I believe, will aid in the development. And I believe that the financial literacy is rising purely because while the awareness is still low, financial literacy will rise certainly when look at the fact that the industry is going to spend upwards of 150 crores in the next 5 years. That's around over 500 crores in the next 5 years, only into development of basic investor education. We have been mandated by regulator very recently to put 2 basis points for every product of ours into and spend them on investor literacy.
Sure.
And I don't think anywhere, any part of the world we have seen that kind of a spend which we are going to have. And I believe that will have a fallout effect. As Milind was saying about lower literacy at large and lower financial literacy, I think we will get aid, because I believe that even certain school curriculums have started talking about financial literacy. And in addition to that, the efforts from the industry will drive that. And if one is able to understand this entire basics of asset allocation, basics of the risk that go along with each asset, and then look at mutual fund, which allows you to be into different assets.
I take your point, but Milind, come in on this. 2 points. One is on investor education has now been mandated. Everybody is doing it. It's a journey. It's not an end in itself. The second and perhaps a more relevant point is broad-basing the industry. Today, everyone is trying to reach beyond the top 15 cities. The chairman of SEBI spoke about it yesterday. Is that working out as envisaged? Are people really reaching out? Are you seeing response from people living beyond the top 15 cities?
Yeah, surely, definitely. I mean, this new kind of dispensation came from 1st October. And might be 6 months is a bit too short to really come to sort of a decision number. But if you look at the numbers and the trends in those numbers, and you have to judge it both from just not the investor subscription counts, but also from the interest it has generated in the distribution community. And there is enough evidence to show that people are interested, they want to talk about these products. There is a reasonably good incentive in terms of financial incentive for the distributors to go out and sell those products. And I think it is beginning to show results, I think in a very material way. I mean, it's not going to change the percentage of flows from the top 15 in a dramatic manner in a very short period of time. And that doesn't worry me beyond a point. But just when I look at the level of distributor interest and and therefore the number of people coming into products, mutual fund products in the beyond the top 15 cities, it's very encouraging.
Right. Ramesh, one of the points that been very often repeated about the mutual fund industry is that if you look at number of folios, they've really not dramatically shot up. Despite the efforts taken by the industry, why is the investor not biting?
Any asset class, there is one problem that I can identify is clear. People look at past returns to decide whether they want to invest in that asset class or not.
Right.
in the last 5 years, maybe real estate and gold have given that returns to the investor at some point of time. So there was a euphoria towards that. There is a tremendous amount of education required to understand that if an asset class has not given return, that last 5 years, if the index is at the same level, we had the index at 2007, 2008 at the same level, today is at the same level. So, but the PE ratios have dramatically changed. So market is much cheaper today than what it was 5 years back. So that education and what is available cheap today, you should go and buy what is available cheap if you want to make returns. Historically, all that is a question of going and reaching the ground level and keeping on a continuous basis, educating the customer. In fact, even it's not a question of B15 towns. I think it's a question of Bombay also. Yesterday, I and Sandesh were at a panel, and we came to the conclusion that we have got a very good product, and we have got, the industry also has got a great performance. There is a huge disconnect between what the AMCs believe and what a common man believes.
Right.
Right? There is a huge difference of perception. For us, we are alpha return generators. We are very happy that 76% of this industry has given a positive return. That is the alpha. The alpha is positive.
Sure.
So we are extremely satisfied with the work that we are doing. But if you go and ask a common man,
He's not made money.
he's looking at absolute return.
Sure.
So there is a huge disconnect between what the industry believes that they are. We believe our products are very simple. If you go and ask a common man, the common man does not believe the products are simple.
Yeah.
So the whole answer is the people in this room, and how can we increase the people in this room?
So they have to
the
be-
advisors, right? Because there is a huge difference between what we perceive, what are our capabilities.
Right.
The CIOs are coming in. The CIOs are capable of giving relative return. They are not capable of giving alpha return. The customer believes something else. There is a concept of risk-adjusted return, right? So people do not understand an asset allocation product in a rising market will give a